Hello, Internet, and welcome to the SwirlyCast, the only audio show that can be enjoyed by humans and yokai alike, and is the subject of drawing heroes, rescuing things, using your stylus to clean up shadows, and a bunch of other stuff that I'm not going to get into here because I wouldn't want to go into spoilers. Sure. I am your host, Komasan. I've decided to spend a few minutes out of your day to come hang out, and with formalities out of the way, what is on the mind today? That is going to be Drawn to Life, an old game that recently had a new one, which I do not think is very good. But we're not talking about Two Realms today, we're talking about the original release on the DS back in the wee years of 2007 by THQ and Ficel. Yeah, this game has a good bit of a cult following, this one. It definitely has a dedicated fan base, and everybody who's played this game would probably tell you, like, yeah, this game is good stuff. And yeah, so that's why we're talking about it today, without going too much in depth, because there's some stuff about this game that I wouldn't want to reveal in case you wanted to play the game for yourself and you wanted to be more surprised. But we're going to talk a little bit about it so that we can so that I can ease everybody into the new game, because I have a feeling that this game, Two Realms doesn't do the series justice, in my opinion. And if you really want to experience these games, this game and next chapter are the best starts to go. So let's talk about the original, because we're not talking about next chapter and its majesty. So, what makes Drawn to Life stand out amongst its other platforming kin? Well, it's in the name. You can draw objects and you can bring them into the game itself. It's one of the only games that I've ever seen which allows you to create just about anything and you can put it into the game. Like, if you need to design a hammock, you can customize that hammock however you like. You can change its color, you can make it like a moon, you can make it like a butt. I don't know why you do that, but you can. And, you can design your own hero however you like. And that's kind of a unique concept that really just emphasizes the creativity aspect of this game. And it's really something that I feel doesn't really happen all that much during games, especially during 2D platformers, because while I will admit I have played my fair share of 2D platformers, they don't really have a unique identity compared to Drawn to Life, because there is only one Drawn to Life. There is nothing else aside from that. Sure, Ficel may have made Scribblenauts when you can type in anything into a notepad and you can summon it into the world, which that's pretty cool, but you're still playing as the same character every single time. If you want, you can play as an entirely different person at the midpoint of the game. You can design other people, and, it's really awesome, and it's something that I don't see happen at all. And I really hope that these things can sort of become normalized. Like, custom characters have always been a major interest to a lot of people, and myself included, because, you can customize your experience to do whatever you want, and Drawn to Life lets you do that, and that's honestly amazing, considering that, it's a third-party Nintendo title that released on the DS, where it had a lot of just garbage put onto it. Anyone remember Peppa Pig? Yeah, that was a pretty funny Cat Icarus video, I will admit. But, aside from that, Drawn to Life sticks out amongst its kin. Sure, it may have had a SpongeBob tie-in game, but that game is good too, so who cares? We're not talking about that one today. We're talking about the original and what makes it stand out. Because compared to the other games in the series, it is actually a little different. What makes Drawn to Life different amongst the other games in the series is that it feels very labyrinthy, but not really. You're going to want to stick with me on this one. You're required to stay in the main area that you are in currently until you get all of the major collectibles. Those being either Raposa, the village people that have been captured by the mysterious villain, I'm not going to say anything else about, that are trapped in the shadow cages that you just got to break open with either a ground pound or just attacking it, or the template pages which provide the Book of Life, which has story significance that I'm not going to bring up here, so... And once you get all the collectibles, you move over to the next section. You can clean up any goop that you can get with the stylus. And if you get everything in the level, boom, you get 100% and you get some extra money at the end of the stage for a bonus. And it's awesome. Another way that is different is that you're stuck with basically a shooter weapon until the very end of the game, which is good for long range attacks, but it can get a little stale. But thankfully, the different ammo variants make everything just a little bit more easier, depending on the current situation that you're in. Whether it be snowballs in the snow world, acorns that bounce around in the forest world, starfish that home in on enemies in the sea world, or the sword in the final world, it's very great. And honestly, I think that's what makes Ronda Life work so well. It has a great platforming edge. It's pretty challenging, all things considered. Like, my god, the final level. Ugh. Um, and it rewards you for going out of your way to explore the levels. Plus, there's not only that, but there's also replica coins that you can spend in the shops, and you can also get secrets that allow you to unlock certain features in the shop, like extra moves, music tracks, palette swaps, and stickers, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very rewarding, and that's what makes this game work. Now, granted, it does have some problems, and I am willing to admit it does have a bit of a very bad difficulty curve, because yikes. But if you're willing to look past that, honestly, like, it's great. And I would honestly recommend anyone trying this game, because it is amazing. And it pretty much just goes to show, like, the best things can come from the most unlikely of places. Like, who would have thought that a THQ published game that wasn't by Dimps was honestly going to be one of the better titles on the DS, in my opinion? Sure, it's not going to beat out Next Chapter. I think that might actually be my favorite DS game, but, we'll say that for another time. But the original Drawn to Life, it's great. I would honestly still wholeheartedly recommend this one, especially for major story beats. I'm not going to get into them here, but let's just say the Drawn to Life lore kind of sticks around and it goes a little all over the place, and it's kind of amazing that this weird little game can actually have a deep story. So, I'm not going to say anything else. You're going to have to play the game for yourself to find that out. That's all I'm going to say. And I think that's a pretty good way of wrapping up the episode, I do declare. Drawn to Life is one of my favorite series, I will be honest. Sure, Two Realms may not be as great as I wanted it to be, because, it was a 14-year-long gap between that and the last game, but if it had to stick with just Drawn to Life and Next Chapter, I would have honestly been all the happier for it, because it is an amazing series that deserves to have a lot more recognition. So, yeah, go play these games. They're great. I would recommend them wholeheartedly. And with that, this has been Koma, and my friends, fellow viewers, and camaraderies alike, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the SwirlyCast. Until next time, bye bye! Oh yeah, music. I almost keep forgetting about that. It's good. Very good.